Let's jump right in. Today, we're going on a seriously fascinating journey into how the wellness revolution views food. We're going to examine everything from the fundamental cellular makeup of what we eat, all the way up to the global, tech-driven solutions that are completely reshaping our food systems. It's a massive shift in how we think about nourishment. And by the end of this, you're going to see exactly how your daily plate connects to the entire planet.
Okay, here is our roadmap for today. We'll be covering 1. The story of food. 2. Building a balanced diet. 3. Core nutritional principles. 4. The smart tech kitchen. 5. Planning and reducing waste. And finally, 6. Global food outcomes.
Starting with Section 1, the story of food, your electrochemical symphony. We really need to reframe how we view the act of eating. I mean, according to the wellness revolution, eating isn't just some mundane daily chore. Think of it like this. Your brain is a grand conductor orchestrating every single aspect of your existence. And to conduct this electrochemical symphony, it demands a ton of energy. The food choices you make literally dictate your daily vitality, your immune system strength, and even the chapters of your longevity. Food is the fuel that allows this whole symphony to play on. But what actually is food, really? Beyond the grand history of human agriculture, farming and domestication, food ultimately comes down to its core biological definition. It is about substances being assimilated by your very cells to provide essential nutritional support. It bridges the gap all the way from sprawling farm fields directly to your microscopic cellular health.
And this brings us to a truly surprising, kind of mind-blowing fact. All the elements that make up our world come from exploding or dying stars. As outlined in the source, we are what the wellness revolution calls the chosen people. That's carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, sulfur, energy, and nitrogen. These specific stardust elements make up a staggering 96.5% of our body. It is the absolute biochemical foundation of our lives. How cool is that?
Moving on to Section 2, building a balanced diet, visualizing the plate. So let's zoom out from the chemical stardust level for a second to look at the exact percentages of a balanced diet based on national dietary standards and the Eat Well Guide. Picture your ideal wellness revolution plate. Notice how it keeps our complex carbohydrate and vegetable needs front and center? Roughly 1/3 or 33% should be whole grain and high fiber carbohydrates. Another 33% is dedicated to colorful vegetables, legumes, and fresh fruits. Then we have 15% for calcium-rich dairy or alternatives, 12% for lean proteins, and finally a maximum of just 7% for those sometimes foods that are high in sugar or fat. But hey, we can't talk about a balanced diet without talking about hydration. 2 liters or 8 cups a day. While humans can survive for weeks without food, water is the true elixir of life. The wellness revolution heavily emphasizes that proper hydration prevents cognitive decline, slowed thoughts, and fatigue. Without it, our brain cells literally suffer.
All right, Section 3, Core Nutritional Principles, Navigating the 18 Rules.
We know the percentages, but what about the specific foods? We've distilled the wellness revolution's 18 rules into clear, actionable habits you can actually use. First, let's look at what you should enthusiastically embrace. You want to fill your diet with high-fiber allies like berries and flax seeds to lower blood pressure, and smart, low-glycemic carbs to sustain your blood sugar balance. Definitely embrace high-quality proteins as the building blocks for your neurotransmitters, along with super colorful, vibrant produce. And of course, healthy fats like avocados and olive oil for brain health, all about prioritizing clean, organic, and sustainable food sources. On the flip side, the source outlines specific dietary pitfalls to limit. Sugar, and all its sneaky hidden aliases, should be kept in check to manage inflammation and mood. Artificial sweeteners are noted for disrupting insulin levels. Interestingly, the wellness revolution also suggests keeping an eye on gluten and bread consumption for mental, autoimmune, and gut health. Same goes for soy, due to compounds like lectins and phytoestrogens, which the source notes can lead to hormonal imbalances. Here's the really crucial part, though. How we eat is just as important as what we eat. The wellness revolution highlights these 3 pillars of mindful eating. Attention means minimizing screen distractions so that you don't mindlessly overconsume. Portion means actually measuring out those exact percentages we talked about earlier, and pace means chewing slowly and deliberately to maintain a steady metabolic rhythm. Which brings us nicely to Section 4, the Smart Tech Kitchen, your personal assistants. Let's be real for a second. Tracking all of this manually every single day, It's tough. Actually, scratch that, it's pretty much impossible for most of us. So, with all these precise rules, percentages, and hydration goals, how do you actually stay on top of it without losing your mind? Well, the Wellness Revolution suggests we start looking at smart gadgets as helpful personal assistants that completely solve these everyday dietary struggles. Take your everyday utensils, for example. Normally, analog forks and spoons rely entirely on your manual willpower and guesswork for pacing and portion control. But enter smart cutlery. Devices like the HAPI fork literally measure the speed at which you eat. If you're eating too fast, the fork vibrates and lights up to enforce a slower pace. It's a wildly fascinating way that technology is directly hacking our mindful eating habits. And we're seeing the exact same shift in food preparation. A standard blender just mixes your ingredients with zero data feedback. But smart blenders, like the Vitamix Ascent series, connect straight to your smartphone and calculate the exact nutritional content of your morning smoothie based on what you put in. The mystery of your calorie and nutrient intake is just completely eliminated. In fact, there is this massive, diverse ecosystem of smart kitchen tech out there right now. You've got Live Laga and Precise Portions plates that provide visual portion cues built right into the design. There are smart plate covers that use visual recognition tech, literally camera analysis, to identify the food you're about to eat. Devices like the NutriBullet Balance give real-time ingredient feedback, and water bottles like the Hydrate Spark 3 actually glow to remind you to hit that 2-liter daily hydration goal. Literally every single aspect of intake can be quantified.
Section 5. Planning and Reducing Waste. The Tech Life Cycle.
Now let's zoom out a bit from our personal intake. How does this same technology help us manage the entire life cycle of our food at home? It's basically a brilliant 3-step technological life cycle. First, at the pantry level, smart tags from companies like Ovi attach to your containers and track when your food is about to expire, syncing with an app so it doesn't spoil. Second, at the plate level, smart plate covers manage your portions. And third, at the disposal stage, countertop smart composters like the Food Cycler break down any leftovers into nutrient-rich soil in just a few hours. It's actively preventing waste at every single stage of the game.
And finally, Section 6, Global Food Outcomes, the macro impact.
We are now connecting our high-tech, highly personalized smart kitchens to the wider world and the ultimate macro goals of the wellness revolution. The source material maps out this vast network of massive global organizations that are striving for worldwide food security and improved nutrition. You have the UN's Food and Agriculture Organization, the World Food Program delivering emergency aid, the World Food Council advancing sustainable systems, and the Global Food Safety Initiative. The overarching message here is clear. The more these macro-level organizations collaborate, the quicker the wellness revolution becomes a reality for everyone on the planet.
So I want to leave you with a final provocative thought. If massive organizations like the WFP and FAO are working to eradicate global hunger on a macro level, how might your micro-level choices, your personal dietary tracking, your conscious portion control, and your use of smart tech to eliminate food waste in your own kitchen tie directly into that global mission? It turns out the wellness revolution starts right there on your plate, but it certainly doesn't end there.